If you're here, you probably want to make money with AI. I've sold several $1 million worth of AI products and services over the course of the last couple of years, and I can confidently tell you most approaches on the internet are about as useful as a wet blanket. They're total dog water. So in this video, I want to cover 3 ways to actually take advantage of this dwindling market opportunity. And let's start with number 1. The first thing to know is that AI doesn't make things possible, it makes things profitable. What I mean by this is AI doesn't make things fundamentally go from impossible to possible, at least in its current form. All it does is it allows you to do things a little bit faster, and then it allows you to improve your margin while doing so. So if you guys want to make money with AI, what you don't do is try creating a bunch of new AI products and services. What you do is you take a pre-existing process that is profitable, maybe a pre-existing process from your company or a pre-existing process of somebody else's company, and then you just add AI to it. The biggest example of this is with deliverables. It's with services. So I used to run a copywriting company. We scaled it to a little under $100,000 per month. And the entire way through, we utilized AI to assist us with the actual copywriting process. But it's not like AI fundamentally changed the service. It was the same service, right? We were still delivering copy. All we did is we built AI directly into that deliverable process to produce content a little bit faster than we did before. Because we were able to produce content a little bit faster than we did before, clients paid us faster. I want you to think about one client paying you every 3 days. Well, how many payment periods can you get in a month? 10, right? Well, what if a client pays you every 2 days? Now you get 15. It's a 50% improvement in revenue. That's exactly what we did. So because we were able to do this, we were able to deliver more faster. And because AI allowed an individual writer to do more themselves, we were also able to operate with a lower headcount than most of our other competitors, which ultimately led to increased margins. So, I don't want you to think about it as like AI is fundamentally allowing new market opportunities right now. What it is doing is it's taking something that has already been validated to work, and then it just makes it work a little bit better. You want the straight line path to making money with AI. That's what you do. You look more for opportunities to optimize than you do to completely disrupt and create new things with. Now, on the flip side, there are definitely some things that pre-AI it was possible to do, but not profitable. And now that AI is here, it is now both possible and profitable. But a lot of people kind of confuse the two. They think that previously, just because it wasn't profitable meant that it wasn't possible. All this stuff was possible. Let me give you an example. Personalized email outreach. What is the fastest way to turn a completely cold stranger into a very warm and interested prospect? It is doing a ton of research on them, being super laborious with it, and then writing a very high quality personalized email to them. It's scrolling through their Facebook feed for the last 25 minutes, finding a picture of their Yorkshire Terrier that they got in 2021, and then saying, oh, well, actually, my Aunt Sally used to have a Yorkshire Terrier. And then they're like, who the hell is this person? And why do they do all this research, right? So previously, you could do this. It was technically feasible. I mean, I did a lot of it back when I was running my first door-to-door business, but it was very prohibitive, and it required a lot of time, and it required a lot of manual effort. You put all those pieces together, and ultimately this is not profitable, right? The thing is with AI, you can now take that process, which was possible but not profitable, and do the research completely autonomously. And you can now personalize maybe 10,000 contacts in the same amount of time it used to take you to personalize 5 or 10. And as a result, you can make this thing extraordinarily profitable. I do it. A lot of people that are in my community, Maker School, do it. And you see it all over the internet, personalization, icebreakers, and so on and so forth. Now, caveat there, it's not going to work forever. Any market tactic eventually gets saturated. And, as people kind of learn more about how AI personalization works, they're like, wait a second, this person didn't actually do the research. They used AI. Maybe there'll even be some sort of counterbalance effect. But for now, it works extraordinarily well. And I think this is a good example of things that used to be possible, not profitable, that are now both possible and profitable. So look for opportunities like that. Second thing you need to know is that AI is best at high volume and low average order value industries. It is not very good at low volume, high average order value industries. Now, what do I mean by high volume, low average order industry? I mean, average order value refers to the amount of money that people pay you the first time that they work with you. So look for industries that pay a little bit of money, but that typically make a lot of orders, as opposed to industries that pay a lot of money, but then typically make very few orders. The reason why is just because the math doesn't work out. I'll run you through a quick example. I get questions every single day all about chatbots, right? Particularly in like setting applications. If you guys aren't familiar with what setting means, it's when you have somebody on the team whose job it is to try and book a meeting, and then they book the meeting with the closing person, and the closer comes in, and then, they sell them on the service or whatever. So I hear stuff all the time about how chatbots are incredible, and they can actually automate the entirety of the whole lead nurturing and setting process with AI. And then they show me some example, and like it works once every once in a while. And maybe maybe I'm a little old school here, right? Maybe I'm just like being my dad, get off my lawn, you damn kids. But in some way, shape, or form, AI usually misses at least a little bit of the context about the situation, right? And this could be small stuff, like maybe just doesn't know the date of the inquiry that the person is making because, I don't know, you forgot to put in the time variable. Or maybe it's bigger, like maybe it's the person reached out with an inquiry 4 months ago, but something related. Or maybe they left a review somewhere, or maybe it's the political climate, or maybe Maybe the person that you're talking with uses some phrase that indicates they prefer a specific manner of being addressed, or I don't know, they talk different or whatever. The reality is, despite the fact that AI is 1,000 times faster than even the most qualified setter on planet Earth, it's still going to be missing some nuance, right? And nuance is important in sales. So let's say that lack of nuance reduces the conversion rate by just 5% as compared to a human, which seems extremely slight, right? It doesn't seem like a big deal at all. But let's also say that you're selling a high-ticket product, and that product is worth $25,000 a pop. Now, if in universe A, you have a couple of human setters, and your conversion rate is 25%, let's say, and you get 100 leads thrown at you in 1 month, you will make $625,000 in revenue, assuming the math checks out. In universe B, let's say instead of humans, you wanted to fully automate the process. Well, because we're dropping that 5% conversion rate, your conversion rate's only 20%. With those same 100 leads, you're now only making $500,000 in revenue. Now, compare $625,000 to $500,000. The question then becomes, obviously, how much is AI saving your business? Because it's certainly costing you $125,000 a month in opportunity. So it needs to save you at least $125,000 a month or more. And is it? No. In all likelihood, you're replacing a couple of setting positions that maybe cost you 1/10 of that. What this means is that by implementing AI into processes that are extraordinarily high value and then very low volume, you are losing a sizable chunk of your business. And the unfortunate thing is I see people do this all the time. I had somebody the other day actually ask me about using AI to qualify private equity deals. I was like, dude, you're talking about like a potential $10 million deal here or something like that. If AI reduces the probability of you closing that by even 1%, you're losing like, what's that, $100,000 every single time an inquiry comes in? That's insane. Is the value that you are paying the person that's qualifying right now $100,000 per inquiry? If you get 10 inquiries a year, then you're losing $1 million on a position that realistically you'd probably only be paying $100,000 or so to fill. So don't just throw AI willy-nilly at everything, okay? Just be conscious and intelligent about how you do so. And look specifically for high volume, low average order businesses as opposed to low volume, high average order value businesses. Compare the two circumstances. If you have a high volume but low average order business, for the same dollar value for that same $625,000, you probably need like 10 setters or 15 setters. So if you're actually able to replace that in one go with AI, even if the conversion rate dropped a little bit, now the math works out. Now it's actually worthwhile. In addition, there are typically fixed costs when it comes to hiring people. You have to do things like, training. You have to do things like some sort of ongoing management cost. AI for these really, really big personnel intensive roles tends to perform reasonably well. The third big thing to know is that because of AI, the only real moat, the only thing that makes one business unique from another business from now until the end of the economy as we know it is going to be distribution. Let me ask you as a question. What value does Netflix have if you can just go into a prompt window and type, make me a Netflix clone, and 10 seconds later, it makes you a perfect Netflix clone? Well, obviously not very much value, right? If we're trying to tabulate value, I'll tell you what it isn't. It certainly isn't the product because anybody can make that product. So if you take away the product, really, what else do you have in a business? This is a software business, obviously, which is different from a lot of other sorts of businesses, but just bear with me here. If you take away the product, the only value that business really has is their distribution. The only value Netflix has in a world where you could click a button and generate a Netflix, which is honestly a world that we're most of the way to, by the way, is its customer base, right? And so even if I could clone a Netflix product in 2 seconds, I definitely could not clone all of Netflix's customer base unless I had a basement with a bunch of vats in it that smelled vaguely of human tissue. Now you can make the same analogy with any software product. You do the same thing with Instagram. You do the same thing with Facebook. The same thing with Twitter, and the same thing with TikTok, and smaller SaaS companies as well, like not just like these big monolithic ones, but like literally every business from here on out will ultimately only be worth the value of its distribution. So what that means is the best way to make money with AI is building your distribution because it's the only thing that is going to matter in an economy that is mediated by AI. And the only way to build distribution is getting attention. That's what this video is for, because it's building distribution. That's why cold email is so fantastic, because you can generate distribution out of nowhere with the right messaging. That's why ads are so incredible, because anybody on planet Earth, even if they don't have a following, if they don't have any distribution, they can convert money into distribution. And what does that mean? It means that the most important skill economically over the next few years is your ability to build distribution, which is also known as demand generation. It's also known as marketing, top of funnel, whatever the hell you guys want to call it. If you guys want to make money in the AI era, this is the skill that you guys are going to focus on. And, it's no surprise that I talk about it the vast majority of most of my content, because I honestly think that demand gen is really where the moat is going to be over the course of the next few years. Obviously, AI will eventually get good enough at demand gen to do big chunks of it as well. But certainly between now and the time period in which that is true, represents probably one of the largest generational wealth transfer opportunities of all time. Anyway, hopefully you guys appreciated this sort of video. I'd be really curious to hear what sorts of AI mistakes you're all making. Just drop them down below in the comments. I read every single one. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.